Hi everybody, day 6 of W.A.D.E's 30-day vulnerability challenge. I want to talk today about maybe a little bit of something like I touched on yesterday. Today I went and saw my niece, and I haven't seen her for a long time, and she's in high school. Her and her sister are twins, and they are doing really awesome in school. They're getting 4.0s and just excelling so great at everything that they do. And I don't spend enough time seeing them or, making the time to go over there and talk with them or spend any time really. So, I've been feeling guilty about that for a long while now, and just more of learning the same thing, the more that we don't, step into something we know we should do or something we feel we should do. Sometimes when you don't do that, it actually activates inaction, and then the guilt builds and the regret builds and all of these things build up, and they keep you from engaging in the things that you want to do. So, I have some excuses that I throw out there as my justified reasons is, I have uncles, but to be honest, I haven't had a lot of uncles actually in my life. I don't think a lot of uncles spent any time with me and my brother, except maybe at some family events or something like that, and don't recall any uncles picking us up and taking us out and doing things. But also in my mind, I have a belief of what I think a brother should be, or what an uncle should be, or what a father should be, or a mother should be, or, and all of these things. And I'm not really living up to the definition of what I believe a good uncle could be, and it's easy for me to show up and give money or to do things like that, but to really be involved in their life in a way where they know that you actually care and give a shit. So seeing my niece today, she's so grown up, and she's into horses, and she's top of the line. Right now she's in the second spot of being number one for the year, or she was explaining to me some stuff, but I honestly don't know all the horse jargon and stuff like that, but she is excelling at the top of the list, and she's going to be number one eventually. She just keep putting in the grind. She has it. She's so dedicated, and it just makes me so proud to know that both those girls have what it takes to be super successful women out in the real world, because when they were young, their parents did things like encourage them to get into sports, and their parents are a little bit more competitive and stuff like that, and go get them, go do them, and high achievers. So it's funny that they're like that, and their children have turned out to be that way, and it's just a fantastic thing to see. And so when I saw my niece, I got to share some of my feelings about what I'm talking to you guys about right now, and I just let her know that regardless if I ever come by or if I see them or don't see them, that it doesn't mean that I don't love them. Like, I do love them, and that I think they're fantastic, and I'm always wishing the best for them and their mother, and all the good outcomes for their life and stuff like that. So it really felt good to tell her that, and I need to go over and tell her sister that and her mother that, and because I know that I'm welcome to come over, and they've told me that before. Another excuse is life just gets rolling and you get so busy. And that was something that she had said to me. She says, don't worry about it, because, we're all really busy anyway, kind of doing our own thing. But that doesn't mean I can't call, or I can't show up, once a month or every 2 weeks and just knock on the door and stop by for 30 minutes and say hello and let them know that I care and let them know that I'm here. And it's not, so it felt good to be able to express that to her, and I was really been feeling guilty about that. So to be able to kind of express that to her, just took that feeling of guilt off. And when she said that they don't feel any bad feelings, or they don't think I'm a loser, or they don't think anything, and that she cares and she loves me, and I'm her Uncle Wade and everything, and so that's awesome for me to hear, because that's all I really want. I just want to be loved by them, and I want them to know I love them. And even if we were a million miles away, I would always have you in my heart, and I would literally do anything for you if you needed something to be done, and that's just the bottom line. So I'm just glad I can share that and express that, and to be able to get that off my off my chest today, because it's kind of some of the things that I've been holding in myself, that with the daily guilt and regret and stuff, that I believe is part of the barriers and the roadblocks that I've been allowing to hold me back from making more videos and to come out and do more public speaking and to really kick things into a whole nother gear. And talking today with my niece, it's just, she's so resilient, and she has some really good insight of her own and good advice about certain things. So it's just encouraging me more to embrace and step up and do your best. And if there's something that you don't know anything about or you're struggling with, that you need to ask somebody for help or ask people to explain things to you so you can get a full understanding, instead of being scared and being fearful and not asking for help or not reaching out and learning how things work, and then and pushing that under the table, and then eventually time passes and now you're growing up and you don't know anything. You're too scared to go up and ask anybody anything, and it's easy to pretend that we think we know it all and skate by on that, but eventually when you get out into the real world is going to play a whole nother game with you. So if you're in high school, I advise you, if you're in any grade younger, if you're struggling or if you're hanging out with the wrong crowd or getting involved in drugs, that you need to reach out to get help. And then if you're having trouble with your schoolwork, you need to reach out to your teachers. You need to, if you have to stay after. Sometimes the truth is we have to sacrifice the time that we say, well, I want to go and have fun, or I want to hang out with my friends, and that's more important. But you'll learn later that it is more important to get your education. It's more important to understand what's going on and how things work. That way, when you get out in the real world, you can apply these things to life. You can ask your boss things that you feel uncomfortable about, or you can, join classes and learn more about things that you're interested in and encouraged to do. Because if you don't, it's just going to hold you back. And the people that excel the most are the ones that face their fears and they put all the hours in that nobody else sees, and they think, oh, they're so lucky and I just want to be you. Well, in order to be me, you got to get up off your ass and you got to take some action, and you got to believe in yourself, and you got to do these things every single day, for however long it takes to achieve the goals that it is that you're trying to get to. So that's my advice and my insight for myself, and that's some insight and advice from my niece. And I'm just happy to make these videos, everybody. So day number 6, vulnerability challenge, W.A.D.E. Thank you, T, for this challenges, man. I'm telling you, it's kind of I got some that I really want to share here coming up the next day or so. I'm just waiting for the right moment to have a little bit of time alone so I can lay it out there for you guys. But in the meantime, thank you so much. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. If you guys have any comments or anything to say, I appreciate all the insight and all the communication. Or if you have a story that you want to share of your own, please do share. And thank you very much, and we'll see you again tomorrow, you guys. I love you all, and have a great night.